Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to continue this storytime series and talk about something a little bit more personal than the video before. But anyways, let's get started in today's video. To kind of address the title of today's video, I am only going to talk so much about it because there's so many people that, would have to be brought up to obviously tell the whole story, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to them because this is my story. I'm not going to talk about them. So to kind of sum up the story, I'm sure there's people watching that know me, and there may be people that don't even know anything about this this topic. But when I was 16 years old, I can't even talk about it without feeling disgusted. But when I was 16 years old, there was a story, and I don't know how it started, to be honest with you, that I was having sex with a teacher at my school. And I'm only going to keep it at that. I'm only going to say that because I'm not going to say who and any more detail because of what I already said previously. But this is the one thing that if I could go back in my life and pinpoint something that's happened to me that has changed my life completely, this would be that. I feel like this false story, has impacted me so immensely when it comes to who I am as a woman, who I am, when it comes down to my personality, and as a mother, and as a wife. Because I have kids. I mean, someday I'm going to have to tell my kids this story. And then the reason I never talked about this, and the reason I even dread the fact of ever telling my kids this story is because of just going back to belief. So belief is a really cool thing, right? People believe in God, some people don't believe in God. Kids believe in Santa Claus. When you get older, you don't believe in Santa Claus, right? There really isn't a theory to go off of belief. It's about instinctual. It's about making personal judgments and then evaluating those judgments and making your own decision, your own process of thinking. When you look at something, or when you judge something, or when you believe in something, So sometimes belief has a funny way of having people turn a blind eye to facts or towards feelings of other people's feelings, and then in turn making up a scenario. When it's a story that has to do with my body and what I've done with it, and people making their own assumptions about what I've done with my body. It's hard. Being a woman, when someone tells you how to be a mother, or who to be with, who to love, who to be attracted to, you get so offended because it's something that goes down to what you do with your body and your heart. And when people start commenting on things like that, so close to home, so close to, who you are as a person, I think it can really mess with your mental state. And that's what it did for me. The purpose of today's video is to not talk about the story, and not to just sit here and defend myself or tell my side. It's to help others that are in a place where people have a wrong idea about them, and it affected them negatively and really hurt who they are today as people. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, it's wrong, to degrade people and to beat people when they're down. I've always wanted to talk about it because I've never said anything. I actually let people make up their own scenarios and let people decide for themselves what to believe in and how to view me as a person. And I don't know if that was the right thing to do. I don't know. The saying when when someone's a cocky kid, or and stuff like that. Some people always say, like, they need to be taught a lesson. They need to get their ass kicked so that they change and they straighten up. I hear parents say that all the time. I've heard so many people say that about my brother, to be specific. He needs to get his ass kicked. He needs to get thrown in jail. Is it true? Yeah, probably. But people say that, and it's funny. I've heard that said my whole life, and I would be like, yeah, that's true. People do need to be taught. But we need to be taught? We need to be taught how to act? For who? For people? For society? When you sit in a room for a long time in pure silence, you start to think, right? Don't we all? We start to think about things that we shouldn't even be thinking about. We start to get on our phones and look at social media and compare or celebrate. People and things and, announcements, and that's just kind of a part of today's society. We do that. But when we sit in a room in silence without a phone, without anything, and just think, I feel like a lot of us think about what we're doing today, what we're doing tomorrow, what we want in the future. And for some reason, I think the past comes back into our thoughts. And I don't have a lot of moments of silence because I have 2 kids, but when I do, I think about all those things. I think that's normal. It's a part of life. But when you are thinking about something that's happened that you haven't been able to accept, and it's been years or months or whatever, however long it's been, it eats at you. It's like it eats at you every single day until you accept it or talk about it. I am the person that will hold everything in and explode, when I've reached my breaking point. I don't talk to anybody. So me opening up about things on YouTube, it's actually a really big step for me. I don't talk to anybody about anything. I don't even talk and tell my husband my feelings. That's kind of weird. Because I don't like being judged because of what happened in the past, So if that showed me when my husband started getting frustrated that I wouldn't open up to him about certain just like everyday life issues, it made me realize that stop and think. It made me stop and think, why don't I like to open up? Why is it that I keep to myself? And that is because of something that's happened to me in the past. So it's still eating at me, even if I don't think about that exact situation every single day. It's like it's like random times of the year, it will, sneak its way back into my life, my current present life, and make me remember or think or wish. And I hate wishing. I hate doing that. Wishing for what I want, wishing for things that I, could change. Wishing for better, when it comes to like your past life or current, I hate that. Wishing should be a positive thing only when it comes to like wishing for joy, happiness, health, wealth. That's it. There shouldn't be I wish I could change this about my body. I wish I could change this thing that's happened to my life, because you can't. Whatever has happened to you has changed you and has shaped you for who you are. And to be honest, I haven't realized that until this year. So I've been living with this past event that has negatively impacted me but has positively changed me. I said this, that I, growing up as a kid, was, an attention seeker. And I don't think that I gave people the good first impression, like the right first impression that, my fellow peers wanted me to give. Like, I don't even think I was my true self. I think I was constantly trying to impress people. People believed the story at the end of the day. There were enough people to believe the story for it to spread and for it to be talked about. How could I not take responsibility for it? If people were believing it, I gave them a reason to believe it. But is that fair to me? I don't know. I don't like to play the victim card with this subject and this topic. I actually blame myself for all of it, even if it's false, even if the story's not true. I blame myself. And I don't know why I'm wired that way for like the self-blame in this, but I am, because like I said, people believed it for a reason, and I gave them that reason. At the end of the day, I guess I really do care what people think. Don't we all? Don't we all? We care if people think we're pretty. We care if people think that we're smart or that we're going to succeed. We care. Everybody cares. Guys care. A little bit. There's people that care more, there's people that care less, but we care what people think. So if you care what you think about yourself and how people think about you, then you should think about what other people think about themselves as well. Reverse the table and put yourself in someone else's shoes, because they would feel that way too. My channel is here to share content so people can relate, have a safe place where they're not going through something on their own, because I might have went through something similar to you, and it's nice to know that. Everybody has a heart and has feelings and has emotions and goes through negative times in their life. But to beat people when they're down is so inhumane, and that's not what we should be doing. If there are people in your life that are purposely trying to hurt you and purposely trying to be a bully and be mean and do these things, yeah, of course, room for judgment, room for self-evaluation and evaluating the situation and making your own assumption on it and making your own judgment and, figuring out what to do. When it comes to judging somebody and spreading lies or spreading things that you don't know the truth about or degrading a human being, that stuff should not happen for no reason. Because you don't like somebody? Well, give a reason why you don't like somebody. Because somebody, you know what I mean? Like, you really got to ask yourself, why don't I like this person? Is it good enough reason? And if it isn't, you got to just keep your feelings to yourself sometimes. And it's so hard. It really is hard. But living through it, it's easier for me to look at somebody and not talk shit about them based off what I see or what I get from like a first impression. It's easier for me to treat people equally and let people, be them for that period of time, because we're not always going to be these people. So it's hard, but I think that as children, as teenagers, as young adults and adults, we all make mistakes and we all have to figure out who we are. But you know what the funny thing is? Do we ever really figure out who we are? I mean, this life is a constant journey. How would we ever, we're always changing. How would we ever, it's just so crazy to look at somebody and judge them on what they're doing now or the mistakes that they may be making now, when in a year from now, they might not be that way, Or maybe they've gone through something, in their life in the past that shaped them into this person now, but that's not the person they want to be. So, like I said, when you're a teenager and you have other, peers and people of similar ages, how would we know, to judge somebody and be fair? I don't even know if I'm going to post this video. I don't know. We'll see. That's how raw I want to keep it. I want to keep my channel, I want to share things. I want to keep it raw and real, but I don't know if I want to post this video. I really don't. I'm afraid to... It's like, did people forget? I don't know. Did people forget what happened? I don't know. Did people still remember? So it's like, if people forgot and I'm doing this video, they're like, oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot that she was like that. I forgot that this is what people said about her. And it's like I said, opening up an old wound. But I wanted to talk about it because of what today's society is going through when it comes to, bullying and not being heard and not being accepted. But I'm scared. I'm not afraid of a lot, but I'm scared to post this one. Because this one hits home. This one's hard for me. I struggle with it a lot. I don't go back home very often because of it. I don't know what is home for me anymore. Because I correlate home with a scandal. A false, untrue scandal that impacted me at a really young age. So I don't know. But if I post this, obviously you guys will be watching it. So I'm excited for the Storytime series because I think that I have a lot to say. I feel like I can help people with whatever they need help with. I love helping people. I love people. I love to show reality, you know, to be in my feelings, to show what I'm thinking, to feel what I'm thinking out loud is crazy. And it's really nice to have so many of you guys respond so positively for my recent video, and I've always wanted to do this video, but it took years to figure out what the hell I'm going to say and what am I going to do. I don't even know what I'm going to say. I don't even know what to say, other than the fact that you know, life sucks sometimes. We all go through things we're not proud of and that we wish we could change, but we can't. We can't go back in time. So I'm not that person I was 6 years ago. If you guys want to find out more and learn more, then keep watching. You know, keep watching what I post. Keep. If you want to know more, you'll know more. Because I'm not that girl. You know, I'm different. I've changed. So thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to my story and to really get to know me as a person, as a mom and a wife and a girl who is now a woman. So thank you. And stay tuned for the next one. Bye, guys.